All right, guys. Today we're going to do a history and drinking mashup. We're going to talk about mules.
The animal? Ew.
So I figured there's two recipes, right, that we're going to make. So we made one and we're going to drink it while we talk about mules, and then we're going to make the second one and tell you how they both taste. So we're talking about mules, both the animal and the drink.
Oh, okay.
And how Missouri, of all places, was like the mule capital of the world. So the first mule we made was a traditional like Moscow mule, but we Missouri-fied it.
Well, we did, right? So
Yeah, we did.
Well, we did not use a Missouri lime, unfortunately. We looked for something, Missouri lime juice. I don't know.
Yeah.
We went with, however, with the J. Rieger's vodka because a traditional mule is a ounce and a half of vodka. So since we're doing Missouri mules in a minute, we went with Missouri vodka.
Mm-hmm.
We went with a half ounce of lime juice, and then we went with a half cup. Actually, this is a little less because smaller glass. A little less than a half cup of Missouri ginger ale. So your Vess or your Fritz's. Yes, thank you. Fitz's, yeah.
Yeah, and so I don't like ginger ale, and I was having a hard time finding...
Ginger beer is actually the traditional thing, but we couldn't find a Missouri ginger beer. So if you do Missouri ginger beer, send us some, and we'll throw you a shout out. Yeah, we'll drink it on camera.
I went with a super Missouri soda. I don't know if anyone else outside of Missouri even does this. It's red cream soda. And so this is Fitz's red cream soda. It's actually called Cardinal Cream because it's from St. Louis. I don't know what it is, but Missouri loves their red cream soda. So this is what I've got in mind.
St. Louis loves their red cream soda.
It's so good.
The Kansas City half of the state is sane.
So we've got our mules.
Yeah.
We can drink.
Cheers.
Mine turned out really well with the cream soda. Yours?
I don't like Moscow mules. I told you that before we started.
Well, maybe you'll like a Missouri mule better. Which
it
we'll
has
make
Campari
later.
in it. So I'm going to go ahead and doubt it.
All right. So anyway, why we picked mules is because I was in Warrensburg visiting your mom. And
home of the Fighting Jackasses. Go Central or University of Central Missouri.
They're mules. Anyway, I was up there visiting her, and we were looking for stuff to do about history because the old drum statue and some other stuff is up there. And I looked it up online, and apparently there was something called the Jones Brothers Mule Barn. Have you ever driven by this?
Probably.
So, horse and a donkey make a mule, and mules are awesome because they're stronger than horses. They're a little more stubborn than horses, but they're not as easily spooked. So they used them in like World War I to pull the artillery and supplies because they weren't spooked all the time.
Okay.
They're less susceptible to injuries. And they also, like on the trails, they could go a lot further and faster than horses can. In the 1820s, there were mules in Mexico, and they kind of traveled backwards up the Santa Fe Trail, right? Like we think of the trails only going one way, but the trails went both ways. And so some of the Mexican mules arrived in Missouri.
So basically
via the Santa Fe Trail.
So from Mexico, from the south, or from the
south?
From the south, okay.
It's Santa Fe, New Mexico now, but it used to be Santa Fe, Mexico.
Okay, got it.
So they arrived in Missouri, and the people in Missouri were like, these are awesome. Like, why do we not do this?
So let's celebrate with vodka.
So anyway.
Okay.
Anyway.
The story's getting boring.
They started breeding Missouri mules, which were big, strong mules. And why are you laughing?
I just keep thinking when a daddy horse loves a mommy donkey very much, they come together. The birds and the bees. Anyway, don't. This is like the third video we shot. I've been drinking. Anyway.
Anywho's. Like I said, they were super necessary in World War I. And to tell you how many Missouri mules were, right? So, or American mules.
Okay.
Now you got me all flustered. Anyway, World War I. They were very important. In supply trains, and pulling artillery. And it is estimated that between Germany, France, and England, all three of those countries together only had about 10 million mules. America by itself had 25 million, and most of them were in Missouri.
Really? Okay. That's cool.
So Missouri was literally famous worldwide for its mules because all the soldiers loved the mules because they were, reliable. They got their supplies. They did everything they needed to.
So it's funny. I lived in Warrensburg. So I lived in Missouri the first 18 years of my life, and I had no idea. Yeah.
Yeah, so during the war and before the war, the biggest supplier of mules was a company called J.D. Guyton and Harrington. They were out of Lathrop, Missouri. And
that's south of St. Louis?
No, Lathrop is closer to us. It's on the
Okay.
side. But at their peak, they had mule barns in Lathrop and in Kansas City and in St. Louis. And one of their facilities could hold over 3,000 mules at a time.
Which is weird because they're infertile. So there's a whole industry around.
Yeah, you have to breed them.
Terminal, and like a terminal line. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But so they had gigantic barns. And even the Jones Brothers barn, which was in Warrensburg, it was a decent size. During not wartime, they said they sold about 100 mules a month. They got popular because he was actually, one of the Jones Brothers was breeding bigger mules, and he took them to the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis, and they won a bunch of ribbons because they were kind of new and different because they were a little bit bigger and a little bit different.
And to celebrate that, is that why they drink red cream soda? Okay.
No, the mules have nothing to do with liquor. Anyway, so, but during the war between...
It's a strange topic for a whiskey channel. Anyway, keep going.
Between 1915 and 1916, that Jones Brothers barn out of Warrensburg, they moved over 6,000 mules.
Wow.
To the war front. So
artillery's cool, so I like this already. Okay.
So mules were very important to Missouri history and the Missouri economy, especially during wartime. The Missouri mule is actually Missouri's state animal. University of Central Missouri in Warrensburg, they are the mules and the jennies.
Yeah.
And so they kept trucking until like the 1930s, and then tractors took over, and then
tractors.
However, if you are interested, you can find mules on Pet Finder. Don't ask how I know that.
What? What am I going to find when I go in the backyard, honey?
They're so cute. So anyway, we Missourified the Moscow Mule. But there's a restaurant here. You remember going to the Savoy Grill?
I do.
So that was Harry Truman's hangout in the day. And apparently one of the bartenders there made a drink for Truman.
So for
Harry Truman at the Savoy.
Like 40s and 50s?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was actually 1940. I have it written down. 1947. The bartender's name was Joe Gilmore at the Savoy Grill. He made a new drink called the Missouri Mule. Okay. And he made it for Truman because Truman loved Missouri mules. His dad was actually a mule breeder.
And this looks like a mule glass.
It does.
So yeah, that's pretty exciting.
And did you know that in his inauguration parade, he thought Missouri mules were so important, he had the mules pulling floats in his inauguration parade cool. In Washington, D.C.
So how do we make one of these?
Okay, so Missouri Mule is a little different than a Moscow Mule.
Okay.
Okay, so what it is it's 1 ounce bourbon, 1 ounce Applejack. Okay,
which we've decided to go with.
Yeah, we kind of mixed our bourbon and our Applejack because... so I guess 2 ounces of that. I
was going to go with 1.5 ounces because of the bourbon. I mean, though this tastes a lot like apple brandy, I thought we'd cut down on it just a little bit. What do you think? Okay.
That's fine. And then it's 1/2 ounce of Campari and 1/2 ounce of Cointreau. And an ice cube.
Okay. Just one ice cube?
Well, we're not making a ton, are we?
Okay. We are splashing me with ice, though. That's fine. So 1/2 ounce?
Yeah, 1/2 ounce.
So we're eyeballing this because we can't find our jigger. Don't look at me like that. You've never had Campari. How's it smell?
It smells okay, actually.
I mean, it's not bad. I'm a little surprised there's not something fizzy in there.
Yeah, no.
Hey, look. It looks like Cardinal Red Cream Soda.
It does. Can you see? I'm gonna pour it out. You can't see. Okay, I'm gonna taste
Here,
it.
we've got an old glass here. Just pour a little bit out and kind of show everybody.
It does. Look.
We clearly rehearsed this. All right. So, shall we?
Taste the Missouri Mule.
Why do I have to go first? All right.
Oh. I'll take my red cream soda.
Pour a little red cream soda. So I think that needs something fizzy in it. I feel like you missed a step because some club soda or some ginger ale or some Sprite. I think you have. Or maybe that's what the Applejack would have done because it's so much sweeter. I don't know. The two-hand method's cracking me up.
Nope. I'll stick with my red cream soda. So anyways, now you know the story about mules in Missouri and why Missouri Mule is a thing.
No, not really.
No.
It's better though. I mean, I think it needs a lot more soda in it. Just something to kind of cut through. And again, maybe we should have. Like, I couldn't find Applejack.
Yuck.
Well, on that note, hit like and subscribe if you want more of that face. No, not that face. Show them the face. Yeah, that face. If you want more of that face, hit like or subscribe. Hit the notifications. Leave us a comment. Yeah, I just tell us if you like Moscow Mules. I like ginger beer. I don't like the combination. So, yeah. But yeah, actually, thanks for the information. It was kind of cool. I mean, again, I've lived in Missouri for the first, almost half of my life, less than half my life now, and I had no idea about any of this. So it's very cool.
All right. See you next time.